Good evening, class, and welcome back to one more lesson for my English course B2. Now, today's lesson is going to be about lesson 1.4, and it's called Great Experiences. Ladies and gentlemen, today I'm actually using a new app, so I'm going to ask you guys to work with me and be patient. The ideal is for us to be able to work with just one entire video, not have to divide it into 1 or 2 or 3 parts and so on. So let's try to see how it works for us. Now, number 1 says DVD preview. That means the entire lesson is going to be based on a short clip that I will show you on while we are working. Number 1 says work in pairs and discuss the questions. What's one thing you've always wanted to try, and one place you've always wanted to visit? So with this exercise, what you guys are doing is I want you guys connecting with the lesson. Tell me something that you've always wanted to do, a place that you've always wanted to visit. Is it somewhere close? Is it somewhere far from where you guys live right now? Number 2. What stopped you from doing both of these things? So what has stopped you from wanting to try something new? What has stopped you from wanting to visit somewhere, for traveling abroad? Think about it. Now let's continue to number 2. Number 2 says work in pairs, read the program information. Who decided what the top 50 things are? Now the top 50 things is this reading that you guys have right here on the side. Show you. Perfect. It says 50 things to do before you die. So you have a short reading for you guys to do, and I'm going to show you the clip once we get to that question. Here you go. Now let's go to letter B. It says match the activities mentioned in the text to photos A through E. So depending on the activities that you guys read in this paragraph, you would have to match it to the pictures on the top photographs, A through F. Okay. Now take a look at number 3. It says work in pairs, write down 2 words you think someone will mention for each of these activities. So if we go back to the photographs, what do you think they're going to mention by looking at the image in letter A? What do you think they will mention in letter B? And so on. Okay, so these are the ones that you guys are going to have to be taking a look at. Don't forget that the rest is right here. Now, letter B says, watch the DVD. Which of your adjectives are used? Don't forget that right here you're working with adjectives. Which activity is not in the DVD? So what I want you guys to do is to stay with me. I'm going to show you the video clip so we can continue on this lesson. Alright, looks like we're having some technical difficulties. Let's see if it's working now.
Number 38. It's husky sledding.
Okay, so let's give this a second try. If it's not working, then we'll just continue. That means you would have to watch this video on your own.
At number 38, it's husky sledding. I've come to Saarisalka in Finland for a test drive. Absolutely beautiful here. The snow is just like, it's got little bits of crystal all over it, and you can really take it in.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I suggest you watch this video on your own. Apparently, the internet connection is not enough for me to go ahead and show it to you. We've tried. We'll get better at this. Now, after you actually got the chance to watch the video, you can continue to do letter C. Letter C says mark the sentences true or false, then watch again and check. Okay, so this is a super simple exercise. You have a true and false. You have to see that whatever they mentioned on the video is correct from the sentences that you guys have written here. Well, let's take a look at D. Letter D says, which activities in the program do these sentences refer to? Complete the phrases in bold so that they mean the same as the words in the brackets. Then watch the DVD again to check. So what I suggest is for you guys to try to do this on your own first. And once you have finished, you can double check your answers by watching the short clip once more. Okay? Now let's go back to the top. And let's take a look at number 4. So on your next page, number 4 says, think about something you have tried that you would recommend to someone else. For example, a journey, an experience with animal or nature, a sport. Okay, so you have a couple of things to choose from. Make notes on questions number 1, 2, 3. What was the activity? How did you feel before, while, and after you did it? So tell us about it. What did you think about it before? Were you excited? While you were doing it, were you scared? And after, did you feel like this activity was more than you expected? Okay, take a look at number 3. Why do you think it was worth trying? Once you have done that, take a look at letter B. Letter B says, listen to someone describing an activity and answer questions number 1 and 2 above. So once you have finished with the listening, what you guys are going to do is you will answer the questions that you have from the previous exercise. Now take a look at C. Letter C says again, listen again, and tick the key phrases you hear. So depending on what you listen to in the recording, you guys are ticking if the phrase is right here in the box. Don't forget that tick is another word to say check. So you would be checking the box. Don't forget that this is your textbook. You can highlight, you can underline, you can tick, whatever you feel more comfortable with. Now I want you guys to skip letter D and let's go to number 5. Number 5 says, read the instructions to this web forum and an extract from one's writer's contribution. What activity is she writing about? So let's take a look at it. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes. Don't forget that right now you're just reading the introductions. And then tell us, what is she writing about? Is she writing about a specific activity? Is she sharing an experience that she had with you? Once you have done that, let's take a look at B. B says write an entry, 120 to 200 words, for the forum. So depending on what she says, you are writing back to her. Okay? Letter C says swap entries with your partner, make suggestions on how he or she could make the experience sound more exciting. So I think here what you guys are doing is you're helping her choose better vocabulary, something that she should add, like extra details to make her story sound interesting. And we would finish with letter D. It says, which experience would you most like to try? Now, don't forget that we will be talking to each other. We are going to be participating in our live class in a couple of days, really soon. And all these exercises that I've mentioned that we will talk about, we will be doing. Okay? So if you have a notebook, if you're doing all these exercises on a separate piece of paper, I suggest you have that on hand so we can talk about it whenever we have our live class. So that would be all. Don't forget to go back to my Moodle platform where I would be uploading extra activities for you guys, and don't forget to do the workbook from my English lab.